Listen, it says a lot about a player when the lights are the brightest and they on the biggest stage and they're needed to perform at their best, and they do that. And during the NBA Finals, let me tell y'all, Jaylen Brown was doing his damn thing. And if you ask me, he solidified himself as the alpha dog on the Boston Celtics. What's good, YouTube man? Welcome back to another episode of Self Check. If you've been watching, you know that I'm E. But you knew that already because you'll be tuning in every time I post a video. If you're a returning viewer, what's good, go? I appreciate you coming back to another one. I hope everything is good with you. If you're a new viewer, welcome to Self Check. Stay tuned for the end of the video, see if you like it. If not, check out some of our other work. I'm sure we might have something you might like. And if you come across this video and you feeling it, be sure to drop a thumbs up. It helps the channel out a ton and it'd be much appreciated. And without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into it. Once Jaylen Brown found his rhythm in game one, from that point on, he was the most consistent Celtic throughout the rest of that series, no question, y'all. I don't really like how he kind of started off with his shot selection, like taking threes over Kevon Looney. Oh, I get it. The Warriors are sitting in his own defense, so he can't get to the cup. There's been plenty of times where I've seen Jaylen Brown put a move on somebody and get to a sweet spot that he likes and get a shot that he prefers. He did make up for it though, because he for sure went up on the other end and beat Kevon Looney shit off the glass, so he definitely made up for it. If you peep throughout the course of that game, Jaylen Brown found his rhythm, putting the ball on the floor, getting in the mid-range, like he hit this shot over Andrew Wiggins, and kind of finding his rhythm that way, and then stretching his game out to the three. If you notice, the only threes Jaylen Brown hit in that game were in the fourth quarter. After he found his rhythm, he hit that three in the corner, and then he hit that three over Jordan Poole. And he, on top of like Derek White definitely did his thing too, hitting some threes. Marcus Smart, this three was crazy. He was the driving force, and the Boston Celtics still in game one up there in Golden State. Even in game two, JB pretty much just picked up right where he left off. He had the three ball going early, and this off-balance shot that he hit against Klay Thompson is absolutely ridiculous. Be off-balance like this, going off your left foot, but still shooting right-handed. I don't think people understand how tough that is. But what slowed down his momentum, and basically the whole team's momentum, was Draymond. We all knew going into game two, Draymond was gonna come with a different energy. He was gonna come with the antics. He's gonna get the yapping at the mouth. And he got into it. Basically everybody on that team, from JB to Grant Williams, Jayson Tatum, Marcus Smart, everybody. So Draymond was pretty much the reason why they won game two. In game three, Jaylen Brown learned his lesson from game two, that he can't afford to kind of get into no back and forth with Draymond. The Celtics need Jaylen Brown to be at his best in order to win these games. The Golden State Warriors can kind of get away with Draymond not being at his best. If you pay attention to the game, once Draymond Green got that block on Jaylen Brown and kind of got the yapping at the mouth, Jaylen Brown paid that man no attention. He was waiting for one of his teammates to help him up, and as soon as they inbounded the ball on the next possession, all Jaylen Brown did was lay that man up with the left and kept it pushing. So Jaylen Brown learned his lesson real quick that he cannot afford to kind of get into these tongue wrestle matches with Draymond and kind of fall for these antics, because the Celtics need him at his best to kind of close out these games. Now, I'm not about to just sit up here and act like Jaylen Brown had like this perfect series. I'm not saying that by any means. The performance that he had in game six, the Celtics needed him to have that performance in game five. And I don't know where the notion came from that Jaylen Brown can't dribble. If you think Jaylen Brown can't dribble, maybe you just don't watch him enough, or maybe you just don't know basketball. So I won't say that Jaylen Brown can't dribble. What I will say is that he kind of dribbles himself into these situations where there's like too much traffic and it kind of leads to a turnover. I will say that, but to say Jaylen Brown can't dribble, that's just crazy. In the closeout game, game six, Jaylen Brown went down swinging. He didn't go out without a fight. He pretty much was the only Celtic who showed up. Hell, Celtics probably could have won that game if the others showed up, and if JT ain't pull a Houdini in the second half. And that kind of just had me thinking like maybe Jaylen Brown might be the alpha dog on this team, and it for sure showed me that he got that dog in him. Now I know I'm not the only one who expected a little bit more out of Jayson Tatum his first trip to the finals. Now it does say something about a player and how special a player is when what he does best isn't working and he finds other ways to leave his fingerprints on the game. You all know JT is an elite scorer, but even though that wasn't really working well for him throughout the finals, because we all seen his efficiency, that shit is like yikes. But he found other ways to kind of get involved in the game with his passing. Hell, in his first game he had 13 assists. We found other ways to kind of get involved in the game, but I think what kind of gets Jayson Tatum in trouble is his shot selection, which is crazy because now that I just mentioned that, I remember he was on JJ Redick podcast, right? This might have been even a few months ago when he didn't make All NBA last season, and this same shot selection cost this man $30 million.
I had $30 million on the line to make it. Now, I specifically remember one person saying, I'm not a fan of his shot selection, so I just couldn't put him on my All-NBA ballot.
Now, I don't agree with playing with a man money like that.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
But And as you can see, this shot selection can cost you that money and cost you the final. If it wasn't already pretty obvious, Jayson Tatum is a big Kobe fan. I mean, this man playing for the Celtics, rocking a purple armband like he Kobe. And that's cool. That's understandable. This the Black Mamba we talking about. R.I.P. Kobe. But Bean was 6'6". Jayson Tatum is a whole 6'10". And if you ask me, during the finals, he did not play like. If you look at Jayson Tatum's shooter percentage, right? From the three, he was cool. 45% from three, cool. Inside that three-point line, he shot like 31 or 32%. And that came from not using his size, taking like all these unnecessary fadeaway jumpers, and not using his size effectively. Now, I thought the Celtics might have tried something different and kind of put him in better position to kind of get some better buckets. So that way he's not just backing down Andrew Wiggins for like 4, 5, 6 dribbles going nowhere fast. I thought maybe he would maybe do something off ball and maybe come off a curl a little bit in the mid-range, kind of get some easy buckets and kind of get him going that way. But they basically kind of stayed with the same game plan. And I feel like those misses kind of shook JT's confidence a little bit, because there's no way you're as special and talented as Jayson Tatum is and you only have 2 points in the second half of a closeout game 6 for the championship on the line for the Warriors. Y'all feel me? Like, there's just no way. I get it. That's the Black Mamba. Like, who wouldn't want to be like Bean? But going forward, I just want to see Jayson Tatum focus on being more like Jayson Tatum. It's been a long journey just for this duo just to make it to the finals. If we do a quick little recap over the past 4 or 5 years, just looking back, in 2018, they lose to that trash Cavs team only because LeBron had a Herculean performance in Game 7 and won it in Boston. In 2019 against the Bucks, Kyrie had like one good game, and for the rest of the series, he played like shit. And anybody who knows me know I'm a Kyrie fan, and I'm just keeping it real. In 2020, down there in the bubble, Bam Adebayo probably has a top 2 or top 3 block in Miami Heat history, probably behind LeBron blocking Splitter, and they won it against the Celtics down there in the bubble. In 2021, they lose to that Brooklyn Nets Big 3. And in 2022, y'all make it to the finals and y'all lose to the Golden State Warriors. I'm telling y'all, this ain't gonna do nothing but put a chip on their shoulder. They gonna learn from this and they gonna come back even more hungrier. Most guys don't hit their prime until they 27. Jaylen Brown is 25 and Jayson Tatum is 24. I feel like most people forget how young these guys actually are because they've been so consistently good for such a long time. But it just has me thinking, if these guys make their first finals appearance in their early 20s, when they hit their prime, what's in store then? Hopefully this doesn't spark up that conversation again, that stupid conversation that do we need to break these two up. I feel like this is gonna be the ultimate learning experience, and they only gonna get better from this, and they gonna come back next year even hungrier. So it has me really excited to see what's gonna happen next year with the Boston Celtics. Alright y'all, I'm gonna call the wrap on this one. Again, I appreciate all you guys tuning in to another episode of Cell Check. Be sure to drop a thumbs up on this video if you was feeling it. Again, it helps the channel out a ton. It'd be much appreciated. Be sure to check out a video here or there, whichever one catches your eye. Again, man, I appreciate y'all tuning into this one. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Peace.